In order to achieve our objective, I think one of the fundamentals we must understand is that we can't look at nuclear disarmament in isolation of wider issues. The biggest factor that is preventing real progress on nuclear disarmament is trust. If nations trusted one another, there really wouldn't be any need to sustain nuclear arsenals. I do see the beginnings of a welcome change since President Obama's been in power, that he is going to engage in nuclear matters, both internally within the United States, because there are some issues there that need addressing in terms of the future of their own nuclear capability, but also in the key area of nuclear disarmament. I think during the Bush administration, the whole of the nuclear issue was really put on the shelf, and not a lot happened over the 8 years there, which was disappointing. The focus was on other areas of how to combat terrorism and other global security areas. My first urgency would be to talk, to engage. I'm very encouraged by President Obama's moves about missile defence, which is a system I've always had very severe misgivings about. I am not a supporter of missile defence, either as a system, or I don't think it really helps in the overall deterrence equation, but that is an argument for another time perhaps. But I am encouraged that there seem to be indications from the United States that that programme might be at least shelved for some time, and that is a very helpful move to reduce tensions between the United States and Russia, and I hope that the Russians will reciprocate accordingly, and that there will be sensible dialogue between those two superpowers, and that as a result there will be further reductions in their arsenals down from the thousands, and who knows, let us hope that we enter into the hundreds, and that would be a very encouraging sign and a very good example. Certainly there are very, very serious concerns at the moment about proliferation, and that a number of states seem to have ambitions to achieve sort of a nuclear weapons status, and that those nation states tend to be in regions of, to say the very least, instability and concern. So it is tackling these very, very fundamental problems that we've actually got to address. Issues like the Arab-Israeli conflict in the Middle East, which my personal view is probably the most worrying area of potential conflict we have today. And a resolution to that issue would have positive ramifications, I think, very, very widely. From a UK perspective, there is often headline in the press, and interested NGOs use the term replacement of Trident. We are not replacing Trident. The Trident is a US missile system which consists of a missile and its navigation, fire control and launcher subsystems. And that has been underwritten by the United States until 2042. So there is no programme anywhere to replace Trident. So the UK debate is focused on whether we want to spend what is a considerable amount of taxpayers' money on continuing a capability. And that, of course, is a very different debate to one that would be if we wanted to start on a clean sheet of paper with a capability from zero. I think giving it up now would not be helpful in today's security environment, nor in the security environment as we see in the future. And we do have to remember, when we talk about this continuing capability, we are not talking about today. We are talking about a projection of what the world might be like in the post-2024 era. So we are talking 15 years from now at least, and then 30 years beyond that. And if we want to understand of how dramatic that change could be, I think we just have to look 15 years back now to 1994. I speak not as an ex-military officer or ex-naval officer, because I do not believe that Trident or nuclear weapons are actually a military matter, and specifically not a naval matter. These are political weapons, and the issue is purely political. Now, most academics and strategists believe that, sadly, whilst the terrorism threat will be around and with us for a very, very long time to come, unfortunately, the potential for nation-to-nation conflict will become more acute as time progresses. If not as a result of mismanagement and of currently regional tense areas, but for more basic needs of disputes over natural resources, over water, over food. And it is my view that based on our current projections of what the world might be like there, it would be unwise for the UK to give up its capability. It would not be helpful to global security and the prevention of war for us to give up our capability now. And therefore, I do fully support the government's programme for continuing capability, provided it's affordable.